rounds with one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he won world titles in what, 8 divisions?
8 divisions, 13 or 14 world titles.
Crazy.
It will never be done again.
Crazy.
And as much as you want to see records broken, and I want to break records, that man is a one of one.
He's a one of one.
Yeah.
I mean, when he knocked down Thurman in that fight, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
Yeah, the power that he possesses, but it's not a thumping power, it's that explosive speed.
Joe Rogan has expressed his utmost surprise at Manny Pacquiao's unreal speed and power in his training. Despite predicting the fight in favor of Mario Barrios earlier, Joe Rogan has now changed his mind and is picking Manny Pacquiao to go ahead and win the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and
seeing him beat Keith Thurman at 40 years old, like, god damn, this guy's great. I mean, just look at his career with 8 different weight classes, world titles in. Eight different weight classes. 40 years old, beats Keith Thurman, who's in his prime.
Right.
Crazy. I mean, what a man. I mean, what a world champion.
Well, he sure turned back the hands of time on that one.
To fucking crazy.
You don't lose that punch. Love it. Champ gonna need a new hand. We'll be eating tonight. Awesome.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. I never imagined he'll be this fast. I know training isn't a real fight, but you can't just make this up. It's gotta be in there.
3. One more right here. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, guys. I'll see you.
How was the experience, A to Z?
All right, I'm gonna give you guys a rundown.
Yeah.
I'm on my first Ellie interview. This is big time. All right, ES News. Shout out to ES News.
Thank you.
So I came here knowing it was gonna be tough because I know I'm not a boxer, so I know the conditioning is different. But starting at the bottom of the hill, getting all the way up to the top by the Hollywood sign up, coming to the observatory is a different type of conditioning. I'm in good shape, great shape, but it's football shape. It's different than boxing. So respect for Manny being able to do this, especially at
Possesses, but it's not a thumping power, it's that explosive speed, that explosive power, the footwork he gets in position, and all of a sudden he's landed 3, 4, 5 shots and then he's angled off. A lot like I did in my fight against Lopez. You know, a lot of that, sparring paid off and it did shape me. And I know he did put out a tweet as well, saying that I hope the sparring we did, helped you in this fight, and straight away.
That's amazing.
And I was so excited. He's a legend of the sport.
He is a legend, and he's such an unusual guy. You know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
Massive.
at that, they're giant.
Joe Rogan was stunned by the words of Cam Bynum, who trained with Pacquiao, had nothing but great praises to shower on the boxing legend. And Joe Rogan spoke on the fact that it was additional evidence that Manny Pacquiao wasn't just doing it for the media and posting clips that have been cut from the full training session. Instead, he has the endurance and the athleticism to get back into the ring. Bynum was with him, and it isn't short clips for social media. This guy is so disciplined, fast, powerful, and enduring. I can't help but to root for him at this point. In a recent interview, UFC commentator Joe Rogan expressed his admiration for boxing legend Manny Pacquiao's impressive training regimen as he prepares for his upcoming bout against Mario Barrios. At 46 years old, even the UFC commentator can attest to the fact that Pacquiao continues to defy expectations, showcasing his remarkable dedication and physical prowess in the gym. Aside from Manny Pacquiao, Joe Rogan praised his coach Freddie Roach and was impressed by Pacquiao's training methods, highlighting his ability to maintain a high level of intensity and focus despite his age. According to Rogan, Pacquiao's training sessions are a testament to his enduring passion for the sport and his commitment to excellence. Under Joe Rogan's video, fans commented on what they felt about Pacquiao's return as well, especially with his training sessions. Manny Pacquiao is the best boxer ever, and no one's tackling my claims with any 50-0 nonsense. You can easily get that by ducking real fighters. Your legend did that too anyway. Another wrote, when you see real fighters, you easily identify them. Manny Pacquiao is a real one. Boxing for him isn't for money, it's life. Life feels incomplete without it. I hope he's really able to put Mario Barrios down.
Different fucking dude.
Right.
Once he steps through that roast, like this is a whole different set of rules he's flying with.
Like Keith Thurman talking about you gonna crucify him and stuff like that, and he just
don't say that. Yeah,
and got crucified.
yeah, but he's super
I wish you the
religious
best.
too.
Good luck in the fight.
Good luck.
The third fan added, this is training. The endurance is what I don't even find in young fighters. It's cool seeing his movement. This can only be as a result of frequent jogs and runs. If there's one fighter who can do the unthinkable, it's Manny. And I'm sure he'll do just that. Notably, Pacquiao's upcoming fight against Barrios has generated significant interest, with many fans and pundits eagerly anticipating the bout. Rogan's praise for Pacquiao's training has added to the excitement, with many believing that the veteran boxer still has a lot to offer in the ring.
It's his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
Massive.
at that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
And I know the reason why, because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big, because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calves started getting bigger and bigger. But I understand, why his calves are huge. But he's always bouncing, he's always moving around.
Yes.
Like, he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. He'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down, and he really is an unbelievable person.
With a career spanning over 2 decades, Pacquiao has consistently demonstrated his ability to adapt and evolve, staying ahead of the competition through his tireless work ethic and dedication. As Pacquiao prepares to face Barrios, many are wondering if the veteran boxer can still compete at the highest level. Rogan's praise for Pacquiao's training suggests that he believes the boxer still has the skills and physicality to take on the best in the world.
It's his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
Massive.
at that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
And I know the reason why, because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big, because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calves started getting bigger and bigger. But I understand, why his calves are huge. But he's always bouncing, he's always moving around.
Yes.
Like, he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. He'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down, and he really is an unbelievable person.
Pacquiao's training camp has been marked by intense sessions, with the boxer working tirelessly to fine-tune his skills and strategy. The upcoming bout between Pacquiao and Barrios promises to be an exciting and closely contested fight. With Pacquiao's impressive training regimen and Rogan's endorsement, fans are expecting a thrilling performance from the boxing legend. While fans buzzed with excitement, many experts and commentators voiced concern over Manny Pacquiao's age and the risks of returning to elite competition so late in his career.
Go.
Up and down, and he really is an unbelievable person, unbelievable athlete, and a legend of the sport. I think as time progresses, people are really gonna appreciate his greatness.
Yeah, and coming back from defeats too. I mean, he's a guy that's had his downs. He's had his ups and his downs, and he always smiling and always friendly to people. It's like
One such reaction came from NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who appeared on episode 2325 of the Joe Rogan Experience and expressed disbelief. That's kind of crazy. He's 46 years old. Joe Rogan, however, took a more skeptical stance. Rather than dismissing the comeback, he hinted at the possibility of PED use. He's not going to come back at 46 on the match, I guarantee you. The podcaster went on to reflect on Pac-Man's storied career, which spans 8 weight classes, while also casting doubt on the authenticity of his physical transformation over the years. Yeah, I mean, boxing has always had a PED issue, he noted. He then drew comparisons to MMA, and the UFC in particular, where stricter drug testing protocols have changed the landscape.
We'll be eating tonight. Awesome. Fire.
When Rogers asked, why did they stop doing that or change the weight classes, Joe Rogan shifted focus to the U.S. anti-doping agency, crediting it with cleaning up UFC to a significant extent. To illustrate his point, the podcaster brought up former UFC heavyweight star Alistair Overeem, whose dramatic physical transformation before and after USADA testing became a cautionary tale. Alistair Overeem is the greatest example. Alistair, when he fought Brock Lesnar, got drug tested, and he was saucy as hell. When he flexed on stage, that's when he was Ubereem, 260, solid as hell, ripped, and just one of the more elite strikers on planet Earth, and Brock was damned. And they make him take the PED test, and he becomes a normal person with good fighting skills? I mean, he wasn't the Ubereem anymore, this destroyer?
His ups and his downs, and he always smiling and always friendly to people. It's like he's so admirable just as a human being.
And it shows too that defeats, I love how the UFC is. Losses are losses.
Yeah.
Boxing has this stereotype where the zero is so important. I'm undefeated, but would you rather see the...
At UFC 141, Alistair Overeem ended Brock Lesnar's night in just one round with a devastating liver kick that left the former WWE star reeling. More than a year has passed since the UFC and USADA went their separate ways, bringing an end to a partnership that had grown increasingly strained. The split, often seen as a drawn-out standoff, raised doubts about the future of anti-doping measures in MMA. Still, Joe Rogan continues to criticize USADA's legacy and its influence on the sport. While Rogan typically has a nuanced take when it comes to PEDs, he has made it clear he believes there are situations where these substances should be allowed.
He lost to Floyd.
Yeah.
When Manny is also like a world-class pool player.
Well, he's got the pool tables at his mansion in his house.
He's really good.
So he's non-stop.
Like he plays like a professional.
And he loves his basketball.
Yeah,
you see this guy shooting threes. It's unbelievable.
Wow, he's a serious athlete.
Yeah.
Did training with him? Did you make any changes to the way you approach fights or the way you prepare for fights after training with him?
I did. I learned the 1%ers, the extra bit to do the extra rounds. Usually before.
So, what's the exception that might justify their use? Let's dig a little deeper. You have to work on your wrestling, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. There's not enough time in the day, and there's not enough time to recover. So that's when Dr. Feelgood comes in. He comes along and bang, said Joe Rogan back in 2015, during a time when USADA was ramping up testing on some of the UFC's biggest names, including Anderson Silva, John Jones, and most recently at that time, Hector Lombard. The podcaster called the widespread steroid use in combat sports an epidemic. Despite this, Joe Rogan has never been completely against PEDs in sports. Even back in 2015, he supported their use for recovery and post-surgery rehabilitation, emphasizing the need for fighters to properly heal.
The 1%ers, the extra bit to do the extra rounds. Usually before the sparring with Manny Pacquiao, you do your 8 rounds or your 10 rounds of pads and you're sparring, but that's it. You do your ab work and you finish. With him, he does his pad work, he does his sparring, but then he's on the bag, he's on the shadow boxing, he's there doing the pad work. So that extra rounds just builds that conditioning and that stamina. And that's what I just found, that push more rounds. If the body can keep going, push more and more. That's what I learned from him.
Jump ahead to 2025, and the situation hasn't changed much. The relationship between UFC and USADA remains tense, especially after controversies involving testing protocols for Conor McGregor as he recovered from a serious injury. Dana White openly criticized how McGregor was treated, and Rogan, who has long championed science-based advances in athlete recovery, spoke out once again. On episode 2285 of his podcast, while talking with Andrew Schultz, Rogan recounted how USADA banned UFC fighters from using stem cell therapy to speed recovery. He said, "Well, let me tell you something. There's a reason why USADA didn't let people use it in the UFC, and now Dr. G Free Sports don't let people use it. It's because it works. It's really stupid, but the idea is that it's performance enhancing because it lets you heal quicker. Heal from injuries quicker, potentially heal from recovering from training quicker."
I'm excited and happy. I'm back.
What's the difference this time returning to wild card from the first time you stepped foot at the wild card to now?
The same. I feel the same, and I feel that hungriness of training, work hard.
Truly Manny Pacquiao being intense with his training sessions like he never left, and he didn't have to look very far to find the inspiration for his ring return. The legendary former 8-division champion has literally led a Hall of Fame career as he is set for enshrinement this upcoming weekend. There was no reason for him to come back at age 46 and nearly 4 years after his last fight. However, the thrill of meeting with the media ahead of his training camp to break his own record as the oldest welterweight titleist ever, that's what gets him out of bed and into the gym. "I returned because I miss boxing," Pacquiao told PBC host Ray Flores during a Los Angeles press conference to formally announce his challenge of WBC welterweight titleist Mario Barrios.
Meant for body recovery, not like before that, just overnight. So we're taking sometimes we have to rest. We're taking time to let my body recover. Like that, but the training intense, hard work, discipline is still there. It's the same.
Especially this situation, being interviewed, press conferences, the training camp, everything like that. I miss that. I rested my body for 4 years. I've been in boxing for 30 years, so it was good to rest my body. Now I'm back. I'm excited to give the fans a good fight. Barrios Pacquiao will headline a July 19th PBC on Prime pay-per-view event from MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fittingly, the event comes 6 years, almost to the day, and the same venue from where Pacquiao registered his last win and added to an already historic career. A July 2019 split decision win over then unbeaten Keith Thurman at MGM Grand saw a then 40-year-old Pacquiao claim the WBA welterweight title.
Family, your eyes were closed and your wife fed you and everything. Was that tough in this part of coming back? Did you have to? Was there a talk you had to have with your family before coming back and jinky?
Yeah, they saw that, but they're very supportive because they saw my speed, my power, and then the body condition, like that. The last fight
The odds aren't quite in favor of the now 46-year-old version of Pacquiao. August 2nd, 62. San Antonio's Barrios, February 1st, 29, is a favorite to beat the Filipino southpaw, according to Bet365 Sportsbook. A win would not only see Pacquiao become by far the oldest welterweight to win a title, but the only elected Hall of Famer to do so. No fighter who was either already in the Hall or elected and awaiting enshrinement enjoyed anything close to a successful comeback. "I know that Mario Barrios trains hard. He has to defend this belt and I am his challenger," said Pacquiao. Also the only fighter in history to hold a major title in 4 separate decades. "I have to go the extra mile to punish myself in order to win this fight." Pacquiao will fight at MGM Grand for the 16th time in his career. He is April 1st 10 at the venue that helped thrust him into notoriety with the United States audience, beginning with his June 2001 upset knockout win over then IBF 122-pound titleist Led Waba.
Call to the fans, so coming here to witness the fight live. I'm really appreciative of your effort to come here. Even despite of this pandemic, you have time to watch live the fight, and I'm sorry that we lost tonight, but I did my best. And
the short notice assignment marked the start of Pacquiao's journey that led to his becoming the second biggest star of his generation and arguably the greatest Asian fighter of all time. Still, there remains just enough of an itch that he can only scratch with at least one more climb through the ropes. "It means a lot to me in my boxing career breaking my own record," noted Pacquiao. My goal is to leave a legacy for my boxing fans, a legacy that I can leave to the younger generation training to be a champion. A world champion in 8 divisions from flyweight to super welterweight, he appeared to end a 26-year career in 2021 with a record of August 2nd, 62.
In a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that
Barrios retained the World Boxing Council welterweight belt with a draw against Abel Ramos last November in Arlington, Texas. Also, the sanctioning body has officially re-entered Pacquiao into their rankings, slotting him in number 5 in the world. This is really only relevant because the World Boxing Council rules state that its champions can only defend its titles against qualified challengers, so positioning Pacquiao as such is basically a necessary precursor for them sanctioning the Barrios fight.
Oh yeah, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's 2 questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably.
Some might argue that such a move isn't really fair to active fighters who have now been pushed down the ratings, but that's just tough luck for them because their names don't bring the World Boxing Council nearly as much money or notoriety as a living legend like Pacquiao. Even if he is 46 years old and without a win since 2019, Pacquiao will challenge Barrios for the WBC's World Welterweight title on July 19th in Las Vegas. Eddie Hearn has doubts over making a fight between Manny Pacquiao and Jaron Boots Ennis should the legendary Pacquiao return to the sport. There are strong reports that link Pacquiao to a fight with World Boxing Council welterweight title holder Mario Barrios in July.
He's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually, Pacquiao is a step up.
The rumors surrounding this bout grew further when Pacquiao entered the WBC's welterweight rankings at number 5 this week. This has proven controversial, with Pacquiao having been inactive since losing his World Boxing Association title to Yordenis Ugas back in 2021, and not registering a win since beating Keith Thurman in 2019. All the same, he is now ranked high enough for a title shot. Only a fighter in the top 15 can fight for the full title.
Manny Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, it definitely has to do with money, 1. 2, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. He didn't look good. He was outmatched by, a fighter, a younger fighter.
And 2, I'm not going to stand here with my righteous hat on and say it's an absolute disgrace that Pacquiao is fighting, but I just can't believe you can just literally disappear from boxing for 5 years, be 46 years old, and I think shot is disrespectful, but by no means a fighter you were, and just phone up the governing body and go, stick me in at number 5, mate. It's like, at least put him in at 14, do you know what I mean? Why would you put him at 5? Why would you put him in at all? And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.